But the biggest story, of course, is Caitlin Clark. So she's going to make her WNBA debut tomorrow against the Connecticut Sun. Sun are favorite -6.5, by the way. Listen, the Fever did get the #1 pick for a reason. So the Fever aren't exactly winning a championship in 2024 is what I'm trying to get at. But expectations for the debut. Listen, I think Caitlin will play well. I think she'll distribute to her teammates well. Again, I don't think the Fever will have a terribly successful year. I think it'll be not Wemby and San Antonio because the Spurs were god-awful before they got Wemby. You say, well, they didn't win that many games this year. Well, Wemby still was able to guide them to some wins that they wouldn't have gotten without him. I think Caitlin will do the same for the Fever. But I was looking at this. I'm like, okay, what should for the duration of her entire rookie season, from May to, I think the regular season ends around like late August, early September. What should reasonable expectations of Caitlin Clark be in her rookie season? Well, what I did was I looked back at the 5 greatest, in my view, the 5 greatest rookie seasons in WNBA history. And I looked down the list, okay? So you got Breanna Stewart, you got Alina Deladon, you got Asia Wilson, you got Tamika Catchings go Vols, and Candace Parker go Vols. What do all of those players have in common? With the possible exception of Alina Deladon. All front court players. All front court players. The 5 greatest rookies in WNBA history, forwards and centers. So if Caitlin Clark, if at the end of the season we say that was one of the 5 greatest rookie seasons in WNBA history, then it's unprecedented. Tamika Catchings was the forward. Candace Parker, forward/center. Asia Wilson, center. Alina Deladon can run the point, but she's more of a forward. She's more of kind of like a hybrid forward type of player. And Breanna Stewart's obviously a center as well, MVP player. Now, again, Diana Taurasi, who we know during the NCAA tournament, when UConn played Iowa in the Final Four, she was like, hey, listen, it's one thing to play against college kids. It's another play against grown women in the WNBA who do this for a living. Yes, that's true. I get that. And Taurasi is maybe the greatest player ever. She's the all-time leading scorer in WNBA history, one of the purest scores, one of the few players that, honest to God, I think could have played in the NBA. Honestly, if nothing else, is a spot-up shooter. Like, I think Maya Moore could have played in the NBA. Maya Moore is the greatest female player I've ever seen in my life. Ever. With respect to Caitlin Clark, Maya Moore was awesome. And left the WNBA early to pursue an even better career away from basketball. Ended up getting married because of it. So shout out to Maya Moore, who's a great person and was an awesome player as well. But I'll set Caitlin Clark's season totals to this. Because if you're wanting the best rookie season in WNBA history, Candace Parker, go Vols, who just retired recently. Okay, Candace Parker, this is her average as her rookie year. 18.5 points per game, 9.5 rebounds per game, 3.4 assists, 2.3 blocks, 1.2 steals, and shot 52% from the field. Now, 52% is not all that shocking because she's a forward/center, but that was her rookie stats. Those are fantastic for a rookie. And, of course, Candace went on to win 3 championships, MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year. It's no surprise she had as great of a career as she did. One of the greatest players of all time. I'm going to say Caitlin Clark averages 17 a game because, again, Candace averaged 18.5. Candace was also in the paint a lot and had, obviously the physical advantage. Caitlin won't have that. Caitlin will be one of the smaller players, in the WNBA. I'll say Caitlin averages 17.4 points per game. She dishes out 8.5 assists, 8.5 assists, 2.8 rebounds per game. Again, WNBA players, whole different ballgame. She's not getting nearly as many rebounds as she did in college. She shoots 44.1% from the field and 38.6% from 3. Those are just rough averages. I think that's what it'll come out to. She's not going to come in average 30 off the bat. But can she as time goes on? Yes. And again, if Caitlin puts out that stat line, it'll be one of the greatest rookie seasons in WNBA history. Again, Candace Parker, 18.5. Tamika Catchings averaged 18.6. Asia Wilson averaged 20 her rookie season. You've seen what she's gone on to be, which is arguably the best player in the WNBA. But I'll say, you know what? I'm going to bump up Caitlin's scoring total from 17. Caitlin averages 19.1 points per game. She averages 19, about 44% from the field, 38 from 3, which is kind of typical for a perimeter player. But I don't think she will struggle as much as Taurasi's letting on. And I love Taurasi. She's one of the best. I mean, didn't Kobe call her the White Mamba or something like that? Like that, she had respect for one of the greatest who ever did it, and she's the ultimate killer. And again, some of what she said, I'm still reserving the right to say some of what she said, the criticism of Caitlin Clark, or if it maybe not even criticism, but the evaluation of Caitlin Clark coming into the WNBA might have been she was a little salty, which I get. Trust me, I've been there, done that as a fan. She's a fan now of UConn. Might have been the fact that this girl knocked UConn out of the tournament, and I'm kind of pissed about it. I get that. Because Sue Bird wasn't as critical. Sue Bird offered critique. Taurasi kind of went more harsh, more strong on Caitlin Clark. So when did the Mercury, who Taurasi's played for her whole career, when did they play the Fever? I'm curious to see that. What do we got? So let's see. The Fever play the Mercury. When is that game? Okay, it's not in the month of May. Is it June? Mercury, where are they at? Okay. June 3rd, and that game's going to be nationally televised, by the way. By the way, almost all of Caitlin's games will be nationally televised. ESPN, NBA TV, Prime Video. I mean, people want to see this woman play, and it's quite obvious she's a baller. Fever Mercury, the first time they play, June 30th, 3 p.m. That's a Sunday, so it's on the weekend on ESPN. That will be, listen, one thing that I hope to, and this last thing I'll say before I get out of here. Between the NBA Finals, the end of the NBA Finals, and the start of the NFL season is kind of a dead period. Now, this year to be an exception because we got the Olympics. The Olympics are this year. It's regularly scheduled. It'll be July, August. We'll be talking a lot about Team USA, basketball, LeBron, Steph, KD, going on this one last run to go for gold. Steph playing in his first ever Olympics. Jason Tatum and Embiid, like loaded roster. But I would love nothing more, certainly for the WNBA as a whole, but for Caitlin Clark to be a regular talking point on the show, because again, the WNBA season runs throughout the summer and very, very early into the fall. The finals are about week 5 of the NFL season. It's about when the finals are. I would love nothing more if Caitlin Clark is a regular talking point in this show, because I think she will be. I think she'll have some 30-point outputs. I think she'll have some dominant shooting games. And I think she's going to have one of the best rookie seasons in WNBA history. I really believe that. Not the best. I think Candace Parker are the best. But Fever Mercury, Taurasi versus Caitlin, that will be an interesting matchup. That's because listen, Caitlin she's wired like Taurasi, which is why Kobe loved Diana. Where the tiniest slight will kind of she's not the type that'll just outright say, hey, that pissed me off what you said. But she'll let her game do the talking and then play it coy, like, oh, I wasn't thinking about that. No. Okay. We'll see what she does. I think she'll be great. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.